roller, band, and ball. Handy. Wake up. Let's start with a few roll downs. Start in our Pilates first position. Let's find all the positions of our spine. Now inhale all the way up. Look up to your hands. Exhale. Let's take one for nothing. Just stand right here and push the floor away. Grow a little taller. Now bend the knees and really feel the legs start to stretch. Inhale up and over. And now your hands come in front of you and nod and curl as you roll down. Follow your eyes, have your eyes follow the body. And then bend your knees whenever you want to reach the floor, or put your hands on your thighs. And bend and straighten the knees a few times right here for 3. And 2. And 1. Bend the knees to push the floor away. And come back up. Take a side stretch here. Just clasp a hand. Reach up and over. Just gentle. Force anything yet. Inhale to come up through the middle. And switch sides. Up and over. And through the middle. And up and overhead. Exhale, nod the chin. And follow the hands. Look down the bodies. Rolling down. Flexing the spine. Zipping the belly button up and under. And reaching for the floor. Bend and straighten the knees 3 times for 3. And 2. And 1. Bend the knees to push the floor away. Come back to standing. Test your heels and your balance a little bit as you come up. Just press into the feet. Start to find. And then lower those heels back down to the ground. All right, coming into first position. Let's use our ring today. So bring it to your hip. Open up the chest here. So this is watching the shoulder to make sure that it doesn't roll forward, and keep it nice and down the back. And then thinking about pressing, like thinking about the elbow gliding towards the spine. Doesn't quite come that far. Then we'll plie here for 10. And 9. Think about the knees going over the toes. And 8. And 7. 6. 5. Pressing everything. Presses towards the body. 2. And 1. Press and hold right here. And then lift them over each heel for 8. And 7. A little crunchy. 6. 5. Keep those hips nice and level. 4. 3. 2. 1. And stand up and switch sides. Now this arm should feel kind of nice and light after that. Using the flat part of the palm here in the handle of the ring, and plie here for 10. And 9. Thinking about that elbow back here, reaching for the ribs. 4 more. 4. We'll press and hold. 3. And 2. And 1. And I'll come up and come down again. There you go. And now lift and lower each heel. Really taller up out of the ribs. And then zip the pelvic floor. Knit the ribs together here for 4 more. 3. And 2. And 1. Standing up nice and straight. Bring that ring in front of you. Same plie series, pressing it forward, pressing it evenly into both hands. Row those arms. 10. And 9. Should be a nice stretch in the back of the legs. 8. And 7. And 6. Right, pressing it as you bring it forward, as you bring it towards you. Bring it back. reach through the fingers and then pull it forward. 2, 1. Here, hold the ring out. Bring it down, shoulder blades down the back. Zip the pelvis, and then just press gently into the ring here for 8 and 7 and 6. Think about the shoulder blades coming together, and then the arms move forward. 3 and 2 and 1. Stand up overhead. This should feel really good. After that, maybe even bend the elbows. They can go wide here, so they don't feel too constrained. And now lift, rolling down with the ring. Like dive your head through the ring, reach for the floor. Now you can put the ring on its side if you'd like to bend and straighten right here. Think about that belly button going up and under the rib cage as you plie down. I'm going to count you down from 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Pick up the ring again and return to standing. Restack the spine, shoulder blades down the back, up and overhead. Bend the elbows and open up the chest. Even the ribs might lift a little bit here. So find that kind of lifted rib position, and then stack overhead. Notice where the arms kind of give you a little halo. Let's come into parallel. We're going to go for a little run, a little bit of footwork here. So this is just over my chest, rowing the fingers out, not gripping with the, holding on with the grip here, and then bend one knee and straighten both legs. And straighten. 10 and 9. Squeeze those glutes. 8 and 7 and 6. Now you can press a little bit into that ring. And 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And relax and open up to the side. Second position. We're going to pass that ring all the way around. We plie in the middle, pass and squeeze, open up, put it behind us, squeeze, pull it apart, actually, not squeeze it together, pull it apart and to the side. And plie in the front, open up, pull it apart in the back, stretch the chest, strengthen the back to the side. One more this way. And pull it apart. And we're going to reverse it starting in the middle, and open, and pull it apart. This tricep should be firing here, the back of the arms as well. Open, sitting on it, pull it apart. There you go. One more. Little stretch in the chest. Open, pull it apart. Yeah, but now, so you're starting at the right hand again. We're going to saw. So reach like that ring could touch the wall. And then the other hand, the fingers here could touch the other wall. Rotate, turn, and knot and curl. Put the ring onto the floor. Zip the belly. Inhale down, exhale. Back through the middle. Switch sides, just bend the elbow to switch. And rotate. And saw. Losing my earbud here. And back through the middle. And then the elbows. And rotate. And saw. Really, the belly button goes up here, the spine goes up as the head goes down. Through the middle. One more. Rotate. Big rotation. And then dive. So. And back through the middle. And take a few rows through the middle with our plie. So everything bends and everything straightens. And bend. And straighten. 8 more. 4, 8. And 7. Bring it together. Push it away. And 6. And 5. and 4, bring it close together. And then 2. And 1, press and hold, like feel those elbows reaching for the ribs, lift and lower each heel. We got 8 more for 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Stand up, press and reach. Take a side stretch overhead to bring that ring up and overhead. It's a little in front of you. It's not behind you. Maybe even just slightly in front. Up and over. And inhale, come back up. Inhale, up and over. Gentle pressure on that ring. And back through the middle. All right. Last thing to do our 4th position. So we have our 1st, our 2nd, our 4th, so we're parallel, and the back leg will come, heel will come off the ground. We will row and balance. So thinking about just this hip and the spine is just going straight up and down right here. The leg in front could get to parallel. Squeeze that glute to make it a front leg glute exercise, and in the back as well. So zip up the low belly here, keep the ribs over the hips, and press down here for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Press and hold here for 8, 7, 6. You can press, pulse into that ring. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, tilt forward. So you're going to do, you can tripod this foot behind you, or you can start to lift it off the ground, squeeze the glute. You're looking through that ring. Bend and straighten here for 4. Little balance challenge. 3. Think about all corners of the feet here. And 2. And 1. Now press and hold here. Squeeze the glute. Squeeze the ring for 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. And back down through the middle. Other side. All in 4s. So rolling down and up. So squeezing these glutes down and up. 2 more. 2 and 1. We're going to come down and hold here for 8. 8. Press into that ring. 7, 6. Using the pinky fingers. 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Tilt forward. Lift that back leg. That's what you did on the other side. Bend and straighten this front leg. Pulse on the ring for 4. And 3. Keep this hip bone pointing down. 2. And 1. Now you're going to pulse the ring and lift the leg for 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Back over. And to the middle. Let's come to the floor. Make sure you can see me here on the floor. There we go. All right, come on down to the ground. Stretch those legs nice and long. Nice and tall. Nice. Everything's nice. Grab the ball right here. Hold on to the ball between the palm of the hands. Inhale fully. Exhale. Start to hinge. Hinge, hinge, hinge first. Hinge as long as you can, and then zip the belly and roll down. Up and over. Inhale overhead. Exhale. Press into that ball. Almost like you're going to give it to somebody. You're holding on. Press in that ball. Roll up. Find that hinge here. And a hinge the rest of the way up. One more like that. So hinging as far back as we can, keeping that nice long neutral spine. Hinge here. Shoulder blades down. Hinge, 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 hinge. And then tuck the pelvis. Roll down. Stretch the low back. up and overhead. Inhale, exhale, reverse it. Rolling the chin up, one vertebra at a time. And then finding off the tailbone right here into a little hinge. Use the low belly, hinge yourself back up. Keep the ball between your legs. Right here, we're gonna roll down to hundreds. And rolling down. And bend the knees into tabletop here. Hands to the mat. Broaden the chest. Open the chest, shoulders to the mat. Squeeze that ball between your ankles. So you're squeezing with your glutes here, not as much like your knees or your inner thighs. Glutes, zip the belly, squeeze the ball. Inhale fully. As you exhale, nod and curl. Look up in the direction of your flexion and start to pulse your arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Exhale, 2. Really hollow out the armpits. Lift the shoulder blades a little higher, but keep this chest open. So make sure we're not curling in. You're halfway done. You can straighten the legs. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, press on that wobble. And notice a little wobble. 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 20 more. Nice tight belly. Zip the belly button. 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 4, 5. Last one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And knees. Oh, nice warm up there. Keep squeezing on that ball with those ankles and stay nice and flat here. Keep the pelvis heavy and you'll have a neutral spine unless that starts to bother your back. You can imprint it and bring your knees a little closer to you. We're just going to do a few toe taps here just to test this connection between our legs and our core. So inhale as the lower the toes, exhale, bring it back up. Reach through the fingertips, relax the shoulders. Inhale down, exhale back up. Inhale, toe tap, exhale back up. Keep the ribs heavy. One more. Inhale down, and exhale back up. Straighten the legs. That ball. Coming into a single leg stretch. So we're going to use the ball here, similar to how we were using the ring. Just as a reminder to activate our back, keep our shoulder blades down. Inhale, nod and curl. Reach up and switch one leg and switch. Just holding this ball right here, like you have a giant ring. And 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4. Belly is nice and tight. Spine is neutral or imprinted if that's hard on your low back. Hold that neutral. And bend both knees. Give yourself a hug. Go straight into our double leg stretch. Inhale fully. Now you're imprinted. So everything but your shoulder blades here are on the mat. So you feel the heavy tailbone and the low back and the ribs. Inhale, everything goes out. Exhale, bring it back together. Inhale, everything goes out. Exhale, bring it back together. You almost think of those elbows reaching up and then reaching for your knees. And 3 more. 3. And 2. And inhale out. Exhale back together. And relax. Put this ball down for a moment. I'll give you an option for it for your leg lifts. You can put it under your sacrum here. Not leg lifts, but more like lowers. Like a little bit of instability here. Squeeze the heels together, toes apart. Press the hands into the mat. Nice and active. Open the chest here. Inhale as the legs drift down. Exhale, bring them back up. There's some advantages to being a little off the ground here. And there's also the instability of that low belly. So keep this nice and connected. Inhale down, exhale, zip them back up. Inhale down, exhale back up, 2 more. Inhale, extend long, exhale, bring it back up. Last one, inhale down, and exhale back up. Go ahead and remove that ball. Now you've got this nice little position here for toe up to the ceiling. So you're imprinting in the low back and then peeling the spine up and lifting here for 6 and 5. Squeeze those heels together and 4. Broaden the shoulders. 3 and 2 and 1. And bend the knees. Give yourself a hug. Going on through scissors. You can use the ball to pass between your legs. Gives you a little something to think about, but also keeping those arms kind of busy. And then thinking about passing the ball higher and higher. So your first option is always to keep the head and neck down, keep the scissors small, and pass the ball right here. You can do 8 to 10 right there. If you like to curl up, the ball comes a little bit higher, like up between your ankles. Inhale, exhale, and then drop one leg and pass for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now can we reverse it for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Changing the direction of the hand. 4 and 3. It's a little tricky. 2 and 1. And bend the knees. Almost through this ab series. And come put that ball between your knees here. Stretch it nice and long to the mat. So you're broad open here. So feel the chest open. The back is connected. You've got this ball between your legs. Zip the belly, squeeze on that ball. Inhale fully. As you exhale, bring your right armpit to your left knee. Almost staying on the left elbow. And back down through the middle, other side. And rotate. Really thinking about peeling the spine off the mat and then putting it all back down. Inhale fully, exhale, rotate. And rotate. And now you're going to take this middle out here, right armpit, left knee, and then rotate. Keep the shoulder blades up for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and relax. All right. Bring those feet down to the mat. Drift the knees to one side. Open the arms here. Need your roller in a minute for some glutes. And now bring those knees, drift them the other way. So you're going to put your roller, these are actually, you can do these flat, you can have the roller. So option 1 for bridge, no roller. Have a ball handy for between your knees. Option 2 for bridge, roller under the feet. There's a little instability and a little option on the feet. You can dig the heels in here, or you can put your feet on the arches. So the arches will be a little harder. The hardest thing to do here would be to put the toes on the roller. Might be uncomfortable on the knees, so I would recommend the arches or the heels. All right, bring that ball between your knees and reach and flatten yourself onto the mat and imprint the spine. So you're completely connected to the mat. You can feel your fingers, shoulder blades broad, neck is long. So you feel the back of your skull, not the top of your skull, like the back of the skull. right, and reaching for the mat. Inhale fully. And then as you exhale, find that imprint again and then start to peel the hips off. Press straight down into that roller, squeeze the glutes. Here at the top, squeeze that ball for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze. Now roll down through the middle of the back, through with the spine down in between the shoulder blades. Keep the hips high as the spine reaches, and then the hips have to lower as that part of the spine comes back down to the mat. Going up for 4 pulses on the ball. Inhale fully, exhale, imprint and peel. Find the peeling here, 1 vertebra at a time, reaching long through the fingers. Pulse on that ball by zipping the pelvic floor and squeezing the glutes for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. We'll get a nice stretch after this. Roll down through the middle of the shoulder blades all the way back down. Inhale fully, exhale, imprint, lift the hips, peel the spine. Almost hollows out right here as the hips lift. This part is not leading. We're not leading with our pelvis. We're squeezing our glutes. Our pelvis follows the glutes, squeezing up into the air. Pulsing that ball 3 times. 3 and 2 and 1 and roll down. And this will wake up those hamstrings. And going up for 2. Inhale fully, exhale, imprint. Keep the head, neck, and shoulders relaxed here. If the chest is tight, sometimes that's hard. Everything relaxed. And moving up through the middle. And pulse on the ball 2 times. 2, 1, rolling down. Your last one. We're going to press and hold here. Imprint. Lift the hips. Peel the spine. Press and hold here at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that spine nice and long. Tap down and press it back up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're hinging down. The spine doesn't change. Tapping that tailbone down. Press it back up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice long hinge. 2 more. Press it down. Push it back up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Press it down. Hinge it back up. 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you get to roll down, curling the spine 1 at a time. Wow. Remove that ball. Straighten the legs. Give your ankles a little rest here. Rotate some circles in each direction for 3 and 2 and 1. Reverse it for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. All right. Using your ring, just stretch. And you can leave the roller right where it is. I kind of like the roller. Underneath the leg, put 1 foot into the handle. Stretch the heels for the ceiling and bend and straighten that leg for 3 and 2 and 1. Point and flex that foot here at the top for 3 and 2 and 1. And now level this hip. Notice if this is hiking up, like if you're closing this gap between your ribs and your hips. Push that down, level that hip. What we mean when we say level, trying to keep this hip bone aligned with the other one. And then maybe a micro bend in the knee to stretch this hamstring. A little bend in the knee. I'll hold here. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press into that ring. It's a nice long leg here and then open out to the side. Oh yeah. Reaching to that opposite hand. So the back is broad here. You almost feel this whole shoulder still on the mat. Point and flex this foot here. 3 and 2 and 1. Reach out into that ring. Use your breath. Inhale across the body. and drift it across. So you're going to get a couple different stretches here depending on what your body needs and where your leg is. So one is this outer hamstring. That can feel really nice right here. So the outer hamstring. Then the other one is that IT band. And that just depends on how tight you are. For me, sometimes my hips are so tight, I don't quite get down to the IT band. And the other one is the side of the hip. So that might even lift a little bit here. Lift this hip off. There's a lot going on when we stretch this way. Inhale, move that leg back across the middle. Flex that foot to the ceiling. Get a final long knee here, long stretch. Remove the ring. Open that leg out and round it down. Other side. Put the toes into the handle, and you'll bend and straighten this leg about 3 times. Here we go. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Point and flex this foot up to the top for 3, and 2, and 1. Reach through the back of the leg, maybe a micro bend in the knee that aids in the stretch. And press into that ring, open and open out. Stretch the inner thighs here. Everything on the inside of this leg. Keeping this other shoulder nice and open. It's chest and shoulder. Point and flex this foot for 3, and 2, and 1. Press into that ring, return it back up to the ceiling. Flip it over. And now drift. So here's your hip stretch and IT band and outer hamstring. A lot of this depends then also too where your leg is. Is it lower or is it higher? And then is it rotated down to the ground, or is the knee facing closer to your face, so facing your top half of your body? So here, a few more seconds, and then we'll push into that ring and come back up through the middle. Another final hamstring stretch right here, and then circle that leg down around and to the mat. Hold on to your ring right here. Nice little transition. Inhale fully, exhale, pull the ring apart as you roll up. Pressing into that roller, thinking about the pressing into the roller here. Gives us the back of the body. All right, so we're going to turn over and lie down. Remove that roller. Ring on the handle. And your hands about 10 and 2 o'clock. Come here. Nose to the mat. And actually move that roller. Oh, there it goes. There goes my roller. All right. Get that back later. All right, nice and long. Press pubic bone into the mat. Really lengthen the spine. Press the pubic bone. Press the hip bones down into the mat. Ears in between the biceps. Stretch nice and long here. Start to lift and lower each leg by squeezing the glute. They're nice and long and extended for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Your hands are still right now. 2, 1. Now you're going to press into one ring, opposite side. I'm sorry, opposite left arm, right foot, and then switch. Left and right, and switch. So this is a slow swim for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Your nose is right between your elbows almost here. And 2, and 1. And press into that ring, paddle the feet, pressing down. 4, 10, 9, 8, 7. Really zip that belly long, low back. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Whew. Keeping those arms nice and long. Push one hand into the middle, reach behind you. So it's a long swim here. Inhale, look towards your backhand here, and then bring it back to the top. Inhale, rotate and reach. Get a nice stretch through the shoulder. And rotate, inhale. And through the middle. Rotate, little extension here. And through the middle, one more each side. Rotate. And middle. And rotate. And put that ring down. Bring your hands in front of you, so kind of under your nose and elbows bent. We want to kick, get a little glute activation here. Eye gaze just in front of your hands, so making sure we're not looking down at our chest. And flex one foot, kick 3 times. 3, 2, 1. Stretch that leg long, point the foot, squeeze the glute, lift the hamstrings up and lower it down. Other side, kick, 2, 3. It should really stretch the quads here. Stretch the front of the leg. 2, 1. Squeeze the glutes and lower. Kick, kick, kick. Squeeze those glutes and lower. One more each side. Kick, kick, kick. Squeeze and lower. And kick, kick, kick. Squeeze and lower. Bring your hand all the way down. Bring those legs a little closer together. And we're going to kick both legs together. Now, when our hips are kind of, a little wonky sometimes, the legs don't kick evenly. So we're going to do a few without the ring, and we're going to put the ring around our ankles and see if that changes anything. So just 2 sets like this. Head down, kick both heels together, kick, kick, kick. Zip the belly, stretch it nice and long, and lower, and kick, 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 and stretch nice and long. So if you're feeling fancy, put this ring around your ankle here. It doesn't have to be perfectly on there. All right, so let's bring our hands to our back. And now we'll repeat, kick, 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 and then we'll stretch nice and long. Really press out on that ring. And lower down, kick, kick, kick. Press out on that ring. And lower down, other side. And kick, kick, meaning looking the other way. And take the break. Remove that ring. All the way into child's pose. Put your hands under your shoulders. Press back to sit on your heels. And then cross one hand over the other. So right hand over left here. And stretch. And walk to the other side. Left hand on top of right hand. And stretch. And back through the middle. And come to seated. Okay, let's do a little bit of side legs. So grabbing your ring and putting it in between those ankles for the long leg. are mat favorites. So your choices are up on your elbow here, or all the way down, or halfway in between if you prefer to hold your head. There we go. All right, stretching it nice and long. Zip this belly. Everything here is holding on to these legs as you press into this ring for 8 and 7. Another option here for the arm is to put it overhead. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press and hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Lift and lower these legs together as a unit. You can also flex your feet here for 8 and 7 and 6. This hand is relaxed as well. Notice if it's creating tension in the shoulder. 3 and 2 and 1. Rock that leg forward and then put the other foot underneath the ring. I did not quite do what I wanted to do. There we go. Sit nice and still. All right, so you're going to press into this ring, squeeze those legs together, float this leg up, bend the knee, and press it under the ring. And repeat, other direction, up and down. So float and bend and down and up and float and up and down. 3 more, 3. Notice you're collapsing on the side to the mat. 2. Squeeze that glute as that leg straightens. And 1 more. And holding it right there, you're going to keep it at this height as you float it over the ring. So float it over and then up and over. 4, 6, and 5. So keeping this hips level. There's a lot of extension here in the back. And 3. And 2. Squeeze that glute as it comes down. That's the last one. All right, bend those knees. Come to your back. Take a stretch first as a little twist. So the knees stay together. Open the chest. Twist. And then you'll slowly start to roll this pelvis to the back of the body. You'll come to the back. So think about using your core to move those bones, move them to the back of the mat. And then take the leg that was working, that's my left leg, and cross it over into figure 4. Flex this foot nice and hard. And if you'd like, you can drift this knee up and clasp your hands here. Hip stretch. Keeping this leg active, the one that's crossed in front, nice and active. And float that leg down, stretch it nice and long, kick through the back of the leg, and bring it all the way down. And turn to the other side, come up through the middle, float yourself around, pick up your ring in between your ankles for your presses, nice long presses. Remember your hand position, arm position, I should say. And we are lined up slightly like a banana on the mat. We're not perfectly flat here. Our legs are a little bit in front of us. And we're going to press down 4, 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4. This hand is relaxed. Everything is, whew. As the ring gets smaller, the belly gets tighter. Press and hold here. 4, 10, 9, 8. So smaller ring, tighter abs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Now lowering and lifting the whole leg together for 8 and 7 and 6. Get a little bit of a oblique here and a little firing right here. You can put your fingers right here. Feel this. 3. Or you might say, I know, I can feel it too. And 1. All right, tilt that ring forward. Place one foot under. Nice and stable here. So now you're pressing into that ring. Press down and he'll float up. Bend the knee and down and bend and float and down and float and bend and down and float and up and down. We got 3 more. Pressing and float and bend and through and bend and up and down. 2 more and float. Lots of tight belly as this ring moves up and down. Last one. And we'll go our up and overs and down and through and up and over and down. Now up, keeping at that nice high level over the ring. Squeeze that glute to the back. So this hip stays forward here as if it wants to open. And this was 6. That's 6 actually. And now there's 5. A few more. Push up out of the shoulder. Make sure we're not collapsing here. 3. And 2. Squeeze that glute. And 1. And bend that knee. Remove the ring. Take the little hip stretch. The knees bent. Open to the side. And then using your core to put the back of the hips, back of the spot, that pelvis here onto the mat. So move to the back. And then cross that working leg over. Flex this foot in front and then bend into figure 4. Keep this both legs bent for now. Flex this foot and stretch. Stretch this leg long if that feels good. Breathe into any tight spots, just use your breath. Don't want to stretch into an area where our body tightens up. All right, then we have to get your roller. Mine's over here. We're going to put a roller under our hips and stretch our hip flexors and do our helicopters. Roller here. Right. Yep, you got it. You're there. Push that roller on the back of the pelvis. And first, stretch those arms nice and long, or even bring the palms up and open the neck and chest. And we're just going to open and close right here, like right over the roller. Open and close. 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Bend the knees here, and now drift side to side. 4. Little extra in the glutes here. Extra pressure, that's the word I was looking for. 2 more drifts. There's 2. 1 to each side. So like kind of 4 more. And drift. Bring the legs back up, like roller sort of. There we go. Roller moved a little bit there. All right. So drifting one leg open. You can't quite see. I've used the leg away from the camera. And then drift the other leg open. Keep reaching through the ceiling. So there's a lot of hip stability has to happen as that leg opens and brings back together. And open. And bring it back together. 1 more each side. Open. And back together. And open. Reach through those toes. And back together. Now let's scissor them a little bit. Little small scissors to start with. Keep pelvis nice and stable. So notice if you find that this is what could happen here, is that our ribs could sink and then it could lift as the legs switch. And we want to keep this nice and level as we switch the legs. For 6 and 5 and 4, maybe reaching longer. 3 and 2 and 1. Let one leg go to the ground, bend the other, and stretch here. So you can bend this leg to reach the ground here for this hip flexor stretch. I'm going to gently drift this knee to the armpit here. And switch sides. And now both legs up to the ceiling. And we're going to scissor helicopter. So this looks like if the legs go 3, 2, 1, and then we rotate them around in opposite direction. Let's start with left leg overhead. We'll scissor 3 and 2 and 1. Now reach through the toes, zip the belly, let the pelvis stay nice and stable, and repeat for 3 and 2 and 1 and reach. So nice. And 3 and 2 and 1. Reach. And now come back through the middle. Change legs. Other leg goes overhead first. 3 and 2 and 1. Reach and stretch. And 3 and 2 and 1. Reach and stretch. And last set. 3 and 2 and 1. And rotate all the way around. All right, take your last stretch here. You can bend the knees. You can open up to a straddle. And now you can kind of let this go a little bit. You can tuck the tailbone. Find that big stretch. The hips up. We'll take one side bend as we come up. Little twist. Roll yourself up. 1 vertebra at a time. Ooh. Ah. Okay. Quick little mermaid here. Get this lateral stretch. Up and over. You're putting both hands on your roller. Push it away. Walk it back up. Take a little extension here. You can press this leg into the mat, reach up. And then take this roller with you to the other side. Bring the knees through the middle. And hand a little bit in the front here. And reach up and over. And bring it. Hit both hands to the roller. Notice if the head wants to drop completely. Try and keep the ears in between the biceps here, between the shoulders. Pressing up. A little bit of an extension, press into that back leg. And back through the middle. We did it. Thank you. Good to see you. All right, Liz, have a great day. Bye. Hey, thank you for doing reformer on the mat with me this morning or this afternoon or whenever you may be doing it. I'm Laura. If you have any questions, send me an email, laura@laurabw.com. Thanks.